A federal judge in Maryland has questioned the Trump administration about its continued refusal to retrieve Kilmar Abrego Garcia from an El Salvador prison. A hearing is scheduled for late Tuesday afternoon in a U.S. district court. It comes a day after White House advisors repeated their claim that they lack the authority to return the Salvadorian national to his native country. The U.S. Supreme Court ordered the Trump administration last week to facilitate Abrego Garcia's return to the U.S. after he was mistakenly deported. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked by reporters who was responsible for Mr. Garcia and where he was going to end up.
Well, no. First of all, President Bukele said that he is not going to smuggle a foreign terrorist back into the United States of America, as many in this room in the Democrat Party seemingly want him to do. Abrego Garcia was a foreign terrorist. He is an MS-13 gang member. He was engaged in human trafficking. He illegally came into our country. And so deporting him back to El Salvador was always going to be the end result. There is never going to be a world in which this is an individual who's going to live a peaceful life in Maryland, because he is a foreign terrorist and a MS-13 gang member. Not only have we confirmed that, President Bukele yesterday in the Oval Office confirmed that as well. So he went back to his home country, where he will face consequences for his gang affiliation and his engagement in human trafficking. I'm not sure what is so difficult about this for everyone in the media to understand, and it's appalling, truly appalling, that there has been so much time covering this alleged human trafficker and this gang member, MS-13 gang member. It's truly striking to me.
Andrew Donaldson from OrdinaryTimes.com joined us for more on the case.
So the thing about the Garcia case is there's other cases like it. This is just the one that we have enough documentation to make an issue out of it. There's others of these that we don't have as much documentation. We don't know as much about it. And that's why this has kind of become the avatar case for the whole thing, because if they're going to do this with this individual, whether he is or is not a criminal, whether he is or is not eligible for deportation, whether he is or is not eligible to be brought back when even the own administration said they made a mistake sending him down there, then how many others is this going to happen to? And is this a lodestar for the entire policy at large? Here's the nut of this whole thing. Do we have a system where without due process you can deport somebody? Now, the legal answer is no. The Trump administration is saying, yes, we can. Just the fact that they're in the country illegally means they don't get any due process whatsoever. Then we get the Supreme Court ruling, and now we are having a live action play out of the old saying of laws are only as good as they are enforceable. So the Trump administration is having a lot of fun playing around with the wordy word of the laws while they press ahead and do what they want to do. Now, when the El Salvadorian president came to town, this all came to a head again because they directly asked him if they were going to bring this person back. Now that the Supreme Court has said that we should facilitate, and that's a word that's getting battered around. What does that mean? Should they bring him back? And he said, well, I can't just bring him back. And then Trump says, well, we can't just tell them to bring him back, even though all that would be required is for Trump to turn to this man and say, give us this man back. This is a president in President Trump who has said that Canada should be the 51st state, called the Prime Minister of Canada, the governor. He's talking about taking over Greenland, which is sovereign territory of Denmark. But we must absolutely, completely respect the sovereignty of El Salvador in this particular case. It sounds nonsensical because it is nonsensical. And what it mostly boils down to is this is a PR television show for the deportation stuff, which is his best polling issue is illegal immigration. This makes for good clips online. And if this person comes back, it's not only bad for Donald Trump, it's also bad for the El Salvadorian president, because CCOT is supposed to be his baby. This is where you go if you cross the line with him. He proudly brags about wanting to be a dictator. He has already unconstitutionally gotten a second term by packing the courts down there. That's something Donald Trump probably greatly admires and would like to emulate. You're not supposed to come back from this prison, and sending people there is a direct message in that line of, you're not supposed to come back from this sort of thing. They don't want this person coming back and telling his story. And that's where we're at in this. And it goes back to that old saying again, laws are only as good as they are enforceable. And as of right now, courts are making noise. The Supreme Court makes rulings. The media is making a big thing. But nobody seems to be able to make Donald Trump follow the law on this specific issue.